Barbara here from AllBrands. We have a big sewing and quilting expo coming to Louisiana. It's called the Original Sewing and Quilt Expo. And today I have representatives from the company, and we're going to tell you all about it. It's amazing. If you haven't heard of them yet, please look them up. So with me today is Mark and Tina Ingraham from the Original Sewing and Quilting Expo. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, I couldn't be more excited that something's coming to Louisiana, New Orleans, actually, in May. And it's the Original Sewing and Quilting Expo.
That's right. We are
goodness.
So excited. We are just as excited as you are to bring the event to New Orleans, to Kenner. So like you said, we're going to be March 4th, 5th, and 6th at the Pontchartrain Center. And it's really, if you've never been to an Original Sewing and Quilt Expo, it is so much fun. It's just 3 of the best days to, if you're a sewer, quilter, love to machine embroider, there is something for everybody. And we just love bringing it to cities each year.
Oh my gosh. And you guys are pretty big. So tell me, Mark, how many of these do you do across the nation annually, or how many have you done so far?
Well, yeah, we've done a lot of shows, a lot of expos. Original Sewing Quilt Expo has been going since 1995, long time. This will be our 28th year in Fredericksburg, Virginia. First show was in Virginia, sort of Northern Virginia area at a hotel convention center. And from there, just a handful of vendors and teachers. We have grown to 100 vendors and 150 to 200 classes, all-day presentations on a large stage. So many parts to the expo. Just get bigger and bigger. It just astounds me how much creativity and new ideas keep coming out. After 28 years, I have seen so many tools and notions and technology developments in software and hardware, just as probably you guys have.
Right. We were just talking about, in the 28 years, how things like sewing machines have changed since the first expo to now. It's shocking and fun to be a part of this ride and this adventure for all these years.
Yeah. Machine embroidery and the sergers. Wow.
I'm learning too. I'm learning how different your show is from other shows that AllBrands is a vendor at. And we'll talk a little bit more about each aspect, but you really, truly are a very unique sewing and quilting expo. It's not just one or another thing. There's so many different things that are offered. So we do have a video from some of the other shows. Would you like me to show that so people can get an idea of what?
Yeah, see what we're talking about a little bit, and we can go into more detail after.
Okay, well, here it is. Let's see. Oh, there it is.
That's the classrooms. Galleries. Oh, Lorraine Henry, great friend of the expo. I loved that class. Shopping. Let's see my body double.
There's shopping vendors. Doing all the fabric.
I love the make it and take it. It's really so great just to sit down at the different vendors. And you get to sample and play in their yard.
Test drive all the machines.
AllBrands is really excited to be doing Make It Take It. Something so unique and cool that we've never done before. Wow, that is so cool. I am so excited. So, you guys have been doing this for a long time. They're successful all across the nation. And how many shows have you done overall since 1995?
Well, I looked that up. I know I thought I might get asked that question. So I looked it up, and we are in our 270th. See, by the time we're at New Orleans in Kenner with you, it will be our 274th original Sewing and Quilt Expo event.
Oh my gosh. Did you ever imagine when you started that it would become such a big entity?
No, I did not.
I think the first year was what, 2 shows, right? Or 3
Mhm.
shows,
Yes,
right?
my stepmom Marlene started the company because of a need for makers to get new ideas and resources. There is a need for education in our industry. You know, the law, as you know, us, that Barbara, you and I have been in the business a long time, and we see what helps move our customers and our community forward, and that's
Yeah.
education. We really want to learn more about what we're doing and see the ideas that maybe a factory method sewer can bring to the home market. And we want our things to look finished,
And you know
expertly
what too,
done.
I think over the years, like at the expo, you know, it's grown from being really just like a trade show because it's really this community. And I think that's one of the things that makes Original Sewing and Quilt Expo different is there's a family of vendors and then there's a family of attendees that keep coming back year after year that know us by name, that we know them by name. And I think it just brings to light this creative community of how much energy and how much love there is, not just for the craft, but also for, you know, for each other and knowing the things that you love to do with fabric.
Yeah, and I agree. There's something for everyone who has a any kind of sewing machine. You can be a seamstress. You can be a quilter. It's not just geared to one type of
Right.
sewer.
And you know, what's funny is I was never a sewer until I met Mark and I met Marlene and when I started working at the expo, they laughed at me because I brought a project in and I didn't even understand. I'm like, okay, what are paper scissors? What are they? Are they scissors made out of paper? And then they all laughed at me. And then I
I
brought
love it.
in a pattern and I said, okay, I'm going to cut this out of freezer paper. And then they started laughing at me again. And so just the way that, you know, you realize that you can be a sewer and a crafter in so many different ways
Yeah.
is really celebrated at the expo.
Education is so important. And I know, Mark, you come from a family like I do of sewing machine industry people. And I'm really excited that my family will be there and your family will be there because I know that my father worked very closely with your father before he retired. So it's very important that we pass on the education and knowledge that we have with everyone. And there's tons of ways that we're going to do that at this event. So one thing is classes, and that's one of like the big one like that you should go ahead and register now for because they're filling up fast, right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Some classes will be limited in terms of the number of seats. So a hands-on workshop might have only 24 seats, whereas some of the lecture classes are a little bit bigger. So there's like kind of soup to nuts of what kind of educational experience. But yes, absolutely. Our class tickets are selling fast. So you really want to get in now. And so you have all the selections that you want to take.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the Bernina studio, we're starting out with an all-day class with Eric Drexler. Eric's doing a tribute to Libby Lehman. It's a quilt project. And Eric Drexler of Sulky, he is also, like you and I, Barbara, second generation in the sewing industry or multi-generational in the sewing industry. So Eric is from Sulky of America.
Can
And
I tell you, can I
yeah,
go down a little rabbit hole for a moment? Because you
sure.
just touched my heart. So I have this picture in the back here. This is Eric Drexler is Joyce Drexler's son. Is that correct?
Yes. Mhm,
So before there were before there were embroidery machines, they used to do free motion with a zigzag. And this is a class that was taught at AllBrands by Joyce Drexler. And it's all zigzag embroidery. Anyway, I digress, but that is so amazing that a
That's so
Drexler is going to be there. Oh, I'm starstruck.
Yeah. In fact, Eric talks a little bit more about. Here's a video on our Facebook page, a little bit more about the salute to Libby Lehman. She's one of the greats, and so he does a class, a tribute to her style, and I know Joyce worked with her too. So that's it. That'll be excellent. We have other quilting classes in the Bernina Sewing, Free Motion, and Quilting Studio. We have the Juki Serger Studio, Juki Serger Room. Yes. And Kathy McMakin is one of our top headliners.
She's fantastic. I can't recommend enough taking a class with Kathy McMakin. She's talk about a wealth of knowledge. I mean, she's really just one of the all-time greats.
She's very famous in the sewing machine market. She's just been around. She has so much knowledge. That's going to be a very good class. And I know, is she also teaching a class on pleaters there?
I'm not sure she's doing a demo. She might be using the pleater in some of her classes.
Okay, I saw a class on pleaters. So AllBrands is bringing pleaters. We're also AllBrands.
Maybe that's Alicia Welcher teaching on pleater. I'll have to look.
Maybe so. So there's tons of classes. So be sure to click the link in the chat that we're posting to get registered for classes ahead of time to save your seat, because the good classes go by really quickly. There's tons of classes. And so AllBrands is actually providing the sewing machines in the classrooms, and we're very excited to be doing that. We are providing the Bernina 570 QE, and I actually have a little screen overlay that I'm going to put up on that.
Cool.
This is the machine that's going to be in the Bernina classrooms at OSQE. And we couldn't be more excited. I believe there's going to be 25 of these. They'll have an amazing deal on them if you wanted to purchase a classroom machine. And we'll be pre-selling them before the event. So to learn more about this, you can go to allbrands.com or visit one of our 7 retail stores throughout Louisiana and Texas. But yes, I'm so excited. The B570 is an awesome machine.
Yeah, that's a workhorse.
And I think it's so important in these places, like at the expo, where people can actually not just sit and test it and test drive it, but really do a project, really learn some things on that machine. And when you're able to spend a couple hours, it's such a difference as to whether that's the next machine that's right for you.
Yeah. So we're also providing through Juki the MO 2000 sergers. And that's like an air threading serger. It has like the intuitive screen on it. That's just, you'll love it. But you'll also learn a lot in the class on serging. And we also have, oh my gosh, should I tell everyone how many booths we're going to have at the show? AllBrands is, okay, let me see here. Everybody take a sip because it's going to be a lot. We're bringing so much great stuff to the show. So we're going to be there with Bernina. We're going to be there with Brother, Juki, and the Grace Company. We'll have representatives from each of those companies with us, and Laura Star. And we're also bringing tons of notions and goodies to shop with. So OESD makes stabilizers, threads, and amazing notions. We'll also have designs of machine embroidery. So if you've had your eye on a snap hoop or the weightless quilter or any of their fantastic products, the King Star thread, we're bringing tons and tons of little shopping things in that booth. And we'll have some special people coming. So far we have a lot of people that if you're watching the AllBrands show, a lot of these people you've met on our show before. So with the Grace Company, we're going to have Allegra Urzosnik and Jana Matthews. With Laura Star, we're going to have Emily Dunlap. And if you haven't experienced the Laura Star ironing systems, they're fantastic.
Right.
We'll have Tina Bartlemay in the brother booth with Courtney Douthit. And if you haven't seen Courtney's show on our YouTube channel, it's called AllBrands After Hours, and she is such a fantastic teacher, and she'll be in the booth showing the scan and cut, and many, many more. AllBrands staff, John Douthit, our owner, will be there. I'll be there. Our store managers will be there. So Erlene Stocks, Robert Hall, Terry Rudolph, and so much more.
You're bringing the whole crew.
Oh, yes. And
that's what's so great.
Yeah, and I know Bernina and Juki are sending some people for the classroom. So if you're in the classroom, there's extra helpers like Kelly in the Serger studio, and they are experts too. So it's not just the teacher. You'll have somebody looking over your shoulder to help you keep up in class so you get the project done. So yeah, it's a coming together event. That's what it's like, a reunion, and this is a chance to really meet and interact with the staff that you might be shopping with either later online with you guys or at one of your stores. Your booth is like a block long.
I know. I'm so excited. And I wouldn't have picked a different company to go all in on and bring all of the goodies and also the Make It tickets. So
mention that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
The thing, can you explain what a Make It Take It is, Tina?
Sure. I love Make It and Take It's because there's many booths will offer them, and it's a chance for you to sit at someone's booth, and again, you get to play with their toys and their tools and their small projects that you can actually get your hands on whatever the products are that you're offering, and then you get to take it home. So all the supplies are right there, and you've got people that are working with you to teach you how to use whatever the project is, from something little small, or maybe starting off on learning some tips and tricks and techniques from the Make It and Take It, and you get to take it home. So it's kind of like a little mini class in a booth.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And I got really excited whenever I learned about this unique aspect of OSQE. We're going to have different Make It Take It's in each different one of our booths. So our brother booth is going to be doing a monogrammed hand towel with scan and cut applique. Very fun. In the Juki booth, have you seen the microwave bowls that are so popular right now?
Oh,
love them.
The koozie.
Mm-hmm.
The koozie.
Yeah, a little bowl koozie. So we're going to be doing free motion quilting and then sewing together the microwave bowls in the Juki booth. And in the Bernina booth, we're going to be making a Serger Infinity scarf, which will be gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And in the Grace booth, we actually have a very unique kind of thing that we worked out. So we'll have an area with some cutie frames and some mid-arm machines. You'll be able to take like a little class in the vendor hall on intro to free motion quilting on a frame. And you can you'll be able to free motion, and then on your panel that you free motion, we'll give you the instructions on how to make a neck pillow, like for travel. It's going to be so cute and fun.
Those are all such great projects. They really are really popular things. You guys, you better have your booth staffed because you're going to be busy, and those are going to be really popular because those are all really great projects.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't be more excited. And you have tons of other vendors coming to the show too with other brands. So it's going to be a lot of shopping, a lot of education. And
That's right.
so through
One of the
classes,
things too is that I love that there's so many of the independent designers that come, whether they're independent embroidery designers or independent fashion pattern or quilt pattern. I think it's a really neat chance for shoppers to meet these people live and in person. A lot of stores don't carry some of the independent designer stuff, and so this is a really great chance to to support them and to take home their products, because there's some really fabulous stuff out there that's being produced that sewers and quilters are going to love.
oh my goodness. And then there's also a stage in the vendor hall where this one's actually run by OSQE. Usually when AllBrands goes to shows, we have a stage in our booth, but there will be education in the actual vendor hall outside of the classrooms.
Yeah, so free with your general admission ticket is 30-minute trunk shows, how-to demos, specific product presentations. There's going to be a big prize drawing at the end of the day on the stage where folks gather. So
where Mark is going to bring his really bad jokes.
That's right.
I'll apologize now, but that's okay. It's really fun.
It is. We'll give away some sewing machines. There's going to be more to do in just one day than a person can get accomplished. They're with the Make It tickets in your booth, and some other vendors are offering Make It tickets too. Those will be listed in the show program. So everyone that comes gets a show program, and that'll help guide them around the show floor. We're busting out at the seams. We're already full in the Pontchartrain Center. And we're having to put some of the quilt exhibits in the classroom hallway. We've got so much happening this year in the Pontchartrain Center that it is a sewer's play and quilt maker and embroiderer's playground.
And these displays are just gorgeous. They really are unbelievable works. They really, so I'm excited for everybody to see them. I've seen them a couple times, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so it sounds like we have a really awesome show planned. There's tons of vendors and products and education and classrooms, but this is the first time that you've come to New Orleans. So I think it's important for those of you who can come, who are in our area, or even if you're traveling, definitely take advantage of this event, so that we can continue to have them annually, which I would love to have a Louisiana Sewing Expo. We haven't had one, if we've had one, in a very long time in Louisiana. They've always been in Texas.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is our goal, to come annually to a market like Louisiana, very strong sewing market, wonderful destination in Kenner. That weekend that we're targeting, the very first weekend in May, has so much going on in New Orleans as well. So while you're at the Sewing Expo for a few days, you might stay on Sunday and visit the Jazz Festival. Yes,
I'm definitely making this a two-for trip on my end. I know you guys are too. So that same weekend is the Jazz Fest, which was on the total other side of town. So you don't have to worry about like traffic or anything in the Kenner area. But you could take advantage if you wanted to stay that extra day after the event is over, to go to the New Orleans Jazz Fest, which is a huge festival full of professional jazz and rock musicians. It's just going to be a fun time. And also, let's talk a little bit about, you guys make it really easy for everyone. I'm used to, whenever I go to a quilt show, I have to pay $40 for parking and really high hotel rate. But you guys have special hotel rates and free parking, and it's at the center, right?
Yes. So one of the hotel blocks, the hotel deadlines are around April 1st. So if you're thinking hotels to get in on our low-cost room blocks, those you can find on our website, and I think you'll put the link in the chat. So we're connected with the Hilton Hotel there to the Pontchartrain Center. So if it's a little rainy or whatever, you can just scoot between the hotel and everywhere is free parking there at the hotel, and there's free parking at the Pontchartrain Center, and lots of it. So that's a really easy thing. If you're shopping and you're loading up on supplies, you can run out, drop stuff off in your trunk, come back in, have lunch. They're going to have concessions. They have in-house concessions at the Pontchartrain Center. I tested some of the spicy food right during Mardi Gras, and it was fabulous. So I think, they have a lot of good options there. And then there's good restaurants right down Williams Boulevard. We're right off Williams Boulevard, right there at the end by the levee. So it's real nice in Kenner. And let's see, there's so much going on, even evening classes. We have some night classes too. So shopping during the day and some extra classes at night if you want to stay all day and stay at the hotel.
So this is the flyer I know that we're mailing out to some people, and maybe in some other advertising, but it's in Kenner, Louisiana. This is the original Sewing and Quilt Expo. That's right outside of New Orleans at the Pontchartrain Center. We're going to have classes, displays. Oh, we didn't even talk about the trunk shows. Tell us more about that.
Well, there are, first of all, hundreds of quilts on exhibit, and we will have Threads Magazine doing a fashion exhibit. So we'll have a fashion exhibit with Threads Magazine, and Classic Sewing Magazine has a children's garment exhibit and an heirloom exhibit from the pages of Classic Sewing Magazine. And trunk shows happening on the stage, for example, 10 Sisters, Carmen Geddes, the founder and inventor of the 10 Sisters program, will be there, and she does trunk shows with her quilt stash. And there are some other trunk shows. You want to check it out on the website under features. And Casey Renee, who's a renowned costume designer and maker, is doing a series of classes as well in what we call the Maker Series. So those are at the Spot. And the Spot's another more intimate education area. Again, all those classes on Friday and Saturday are free with admission and geared towards adventurous costuming sewers who are using products outside the traditional to do some really cool stuff, which I know down in New Orleans. Tuesday Fabrics will be there with all their Mardi Gras fabrics. Wool House will be there. Joe Vecchiarelli and French European will be there. Joe is Lorraine Henry, and Kathy Ruddy will be there with her booth. And Kathy, like me, been to 270, 268, 270 expos. Kathy has probably been with us at every single original Sewing and Quilt Expo
Pretty
since
close.
1995. Her wealth of knowledge is expansive, continues to sell out all her classes because her knowledge is so specialized in fitting and garment construction. Really important. If you're a quilt maker and never dabbled in garments or kind of got tired of doing 3D stuff, class with Kathy Ruddy.
She's so much fun. She's so fun. And she usually does a stage show or two. And we were just talking about how one of my favorite ones, she did and I think she'll probably do it, is her bit about the 5-inch waist, how you can create a 5-inch waist for yourself, which I'm like all over that. And she's just really fun, really fun with her trunk show, showing the different garments that, you can buy her patterns for and whatnot. So
Rhonda Pierce will be there from Schmetz Needles. Rhonda is very well known and wealth of knowledge, and some people will spend some time. She'll do something on the stage for us. So you really could camp out all day at the expo. You won't be bored for a minute.
Yeah. So this is May 4th, 5th, and 6th. So they actually have, is it 3 days of convention, or how many days can they visit the vendor hall?
Yeah. So we do something called More the Day Before. So those are for folks who really want to get immersed and spend some more time. The day before, while all the vendors are setting up, we have all day classes. So while vendors are setting up in the exhibit hall, we have intensive all day classes. It's an all day, you get lunch, and you really take a deep dive with Kathy McMakin or an Eric Drexler or Heather Kojan. And then on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we have all day classes and shopping open, and then some classes on Thursday and Friday night. And the whole show kind of wraps up at 5 o'clock on Saturday with the big prize drawing, giving away a bunch of machines, including a Bernina.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And definitely stop by the AllBrands booth for the Make It Take It's and all of the stuff we're bringing. There's going to be tons of shopping and experts there for you to, rub shoulders with and just get as much information as you can and soak it up like a sponge. Because this is a truly, truly unique event that I've never seen in the Gulf South before. And I'm so excited that you're bringing it to our area in Louisiana.
Well, we call it an expo for a reason, because it really is an expo. There's all kinds of, you'll hear laughter, you'll hear intense conversations and test driving new equipment. And Fashion Friday is when you can walk the stage in something you created. So Fashion Friday, free admission to the expo if you come in something you wore or made. If you wear something or bring it with you to change into in the dressing room, for a runway show at noon on Fridays, we get to show off what we've made. So if you have something, so that's a little tip. Get the free admission.
And I have one other tip. That one of the things that I learned is that you can gain so much just by sitting at one of the concession tables and meeting other people, or sitting next to someone in those 10 minutes before a class starts, where you just start talking and connecting. You just never know when some little piece of information is going to come your way from somebody who's just like you, which I just think is one of the best parts of the expo too, or those little nuggets that you didn't expect that you would experience that are really so valuable and so just personally fulfilling. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. So the cost of admission is very good price. What is that?
If you buy your ticket online, a general admission ticket online is $8, and it's a little more at the door. So you want to get your tickets online if you can, but we can give to you at the door. The class packages are where the real deal is. If you take so many class sessions, the price comes down per session, and we throw in more value-added stuff like admission tickets, our shopping bag, our project pouch. So there's information online. As you add classes to your cart, the cart will tell you, what you're getting extra and bonus and so forth.
Wow.
So so it kind of, there's a range. You can spend just a little, or you can really come and take the Cadillac bundle. So it really depends on where you're at, how much time you can devote.
So if you're commuting, go ahead and take advantage of the discounted hotel rates, which can you tell us a little bit more about that again?
Mm-hmm. The Hilton Garden Inn, the Home 2 Suites, and the DoubleTree all have discounted rates there. And there's a couple more on the list, and we're expanding the blocks, because I heard one of the hotels just filled up our block, but they're gonna expand it. So tickets are selling and people are signing up. Well, hotels are gonna love us because we're filling them up. The discounted rates, they ramp up around the beginning of April. So you've got to get booked in by April 1st or so. Get your reservations into the hotels so they know you're coming and you don't get moved around or anything.
Well, thank you so much for spending your evening with me so that we can let everyone know about this amazing expo that's coming to Kenner, Louisiana, May 3rd, if you're taking classes, 4th, 5th and 6th, if you're visiting the vendor hall. We hope that you take advantage of it all. And allbrands.com is very excited. So where do they go to sign up for this?
It's real easy. Sewingexpo.com. So when you're at sewingexpo.com, then you can select the event city for New Orleans, and then you'll see all of the class offerings from Wednesday through Saturday, as well as other displays and features and fun stuff. And the registration link is right there too.
Wonderful. And classes are filling up. So go ahead and do that now rather than later, because you may miss out on an amazing educational experience. So, all right. Well, thank you so much, Mark and Tina.
Thank you.
Yeah, Barbara, we're so excited to work with AllBrands. I know you mentioned working with us, and we have to say that it's likewise that we have had such a wonderful time in the planning stages, getting these classrooms organized with your team and working with you and John to really build the event. We're doing some of it, but your input has made a big imprint on the expos too. So we thank you for being a partner.
Same. And please, I want to do this every year. So everybody sign up. I want to meet all these amazing people in May, and then hit the Jazz Fest right after. Maybe I can convince my family to come with me, but I'll definitely be there.
Yep, so. We'll see you there.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you in May.
Yep. That's right. See you in May.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.